Hey, what's up, Bootstrappers? It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, at least in my neighborhood. I just got a house. I believe it's sold. I'm gonna get it under contract. It's kind of a little bit different than I normally do. I normally like to do skinny deals. This is definitely a skinny deal, or the way that it was structured. I would have got some cash flow and I would have got some monthly payments on it. And let me roll my windows just so I'm not competing with the outside air. So anyway, I'm gonna actually just sell this one outright. There's enough spread in it that this person wants it pretty bad that I can sell it for at a discount, and as far as like off retail value because of the condition of the house, and still make a pretty good chunk of change on it. So I'm gonna do that, tie up that contract today. But I wanted to share something with you. What's up, Steven? So there's a difference between being very, very reactive and just like busybody, just like I'm going, versus someone that actually is kind of cool, takes a step back, isn't like scattered and running around crazy, and is on purpose basically in their business. They are a little bit more in control, I guess would be the best way to say it, and that they are very proactive. So let me give you a clear example of what exactly I'm talking about. So one of the things that I'm actively doing is I'm always looking for new leads. And I think that's something that we always have is like, oh, I can get new leads. And it's true, because what we do today is going to dictate what's going to happen to our paydays in the next 60 or 90 days. So it's very rare that I'm going to get a deal that just happens bada bing, bada boom. The house that I bought 2 weeks ago that was condemned, that happened just that way. Like I would say within the 30-day cycle. From the time that I saw the house, snapped the picture, postcard, sent it out. She called me, fooling around for about a week, got it under contract, and now it's sold. And the guy's family's moving in today. I'd say from start to finish, that was about 21 days. That's a complete. That's an anomaly. Those do happen. They definitely do happen, but that's not the norm. The norm is about you identify the house, then you got to go find the owner, and you got to like do all the stuff you need to do there, and then you got to evaluate it, and you got to see it, and you got to get on the contract. That takes about a good 30 days, and then you got to find the buyer, and that's another a good, just depending on how the situation is, it could take you a while to find the buyer. And so the longest lag that I have, though, is between identifying the property and getting the seller on the same page so that I can go ahead and contract the property. So that takes some time, especially when you don't know where the person's at. You got to find them. And so what I'm constantly doing is gotta find these deals. I'm like a crack fiend. I'm like, I gotta get my next fix. So I'm constantly driving for dollars. I'm hitting up the probate courts once a month. I'm looking at pre-foreclosures. I'm doing all these things so I can get out there and I can find these things. But what happens is I'm very reactionary. I'm beholden to what happens in the marketplace. What's up, Sharon? Sharon, I use right now an app called Deal Machine. I used to do it myself, and then I discovered, I'm like, wait, someone actually created an app that actually does what I've been doing myself. I was using Postagram for the longest time. I was taking a picture of the house, going back, skip tracing the property, putting everything together, and then sending it out with Postagram. And Deal Machine now just straight up, bam, I take a picture of the house and it's done. If you guys want to sign up for Deal Machine, it's completely free. I mean, you get like a 2-week trial thing, but if you use the code Bootstrap REI, you can sign up. I get like a little kickback. Woo, yeah, I get like $1 like a month or something like that. Actually, I don't know the exact numbers amount, but I do get something from it. But if you do that, I will reward you by giving you a copy of all of my templates. So I use different templates. I use a template if the house is vacant. I use a template if the house is in pre-foreclosure. I use a template if the house is listed with a real estate agent. So I use different templates that I have been using because I don't like the standard template. I mean, the guys are kind of cool, but I don't think they're good copywriters. That's just my humble opinion. They can probably tell them to go shove it. That's totally cool. I just like my own stuff. So anyway, I've been using my templates. So if you want to use Bootstrap REI as the referral code, go ahead and let me know. Then I'll shoot you on over the templates that I have. Hey, what's up, Sean? So let me give you a case in point, all right? So I'm driving around. I'm doing all this crazy stuff. I'm looking for these properties. I'm calling people. They're calling me back. We're just like, hey, let's get together, and like just scramble. And that's what happens. And then so for example, right now, in the last 3 weeks, we've had 3 properties that we had under contract that I was, 2 of them that I was buying, one that I was I'm buying all 3 of these properties. I take that back. And when we're in contract, we're always like hustling just to get them sold and get them moved and stuff like that. Well, got one done, got another one done. The seller, the third one's like, hey, I need some more time. You guys are moving too fast. All that crazy stuff. So we, of course, push that back. But when we're doing this all like with, 3 houses we're trying to sell in 3 at the same time, it gets crazy. It does. It gets definitely crazy and hectic. And oh, look at this. This guy pulled over in front of the house, taking down a number of my sign that says rent to own. Look at that. It's a chick. Little does she know the house is already sold. So, are getting under contract today. But let me just go ahead and back up here. So, talking about, what's up, Nathan? About this is, so I get these postcards will come back. So I'll use Deal Machine. I'll send out the postcards. The postcards come back. I don't have any with me right now. And so that's just what happened. So I get these postcards back. I got a stack of postcards that I need to go skip trace. Now what happens is, because I'm very reactionary, I'm constantly chasing the new instead of going back and looking at the stuff that I already have. And this is where I think most investors, myself included, where I've actually dropped the ball. In the past, I've actually just crushed it because I was on my game. I didn't have a lot of properties that I was trying to sell, but I was on my game when it came to the follow-up business. I follow up. In fact, this year alone, I've closed about a third of the properties that I have closed have been from follow-up from 18 months or longer. These are deals that I had in my prospecting pipeline that I've gone and I found, and that they just weren't ready, and I just kept following up with them and following up with them and following up with them. But what happens is that takes a very proactive person, a person who's organized, and a person who's actually just able to just focus and spend some time slowing their business down and being very methodical and going, okay, you know what, I'm going to dedicate this much time to follow up and do this and that. And that's the difference that I see in a lot of these different, myself included, guys trying to be a one-man shop, trying to build their business. And the challenge is that you have, all these different parts of your business components that have to get done, and you're not getting them done. You're playing this reactionary game. And yeah, we're making money, but what happens is that I don't know about you guys, but my market is starting to soften, and I'm seeing that a lot, especially with my rent-to-own properties. We used to be able to get $20,000 down payments, and people would be like this bidding war. Like, we'd start at 15, they go, no, I'll give you 20, no, I'll give you 25. Not seeing that anymore. Now they're like, well, the house is just a little bit dated. Maybe if you're going to clean the bathroom up and stuff like that. So we're starting to get these buyers that are like, look, man, I'm going to hold off for another property. It's not quite what I'm looking for. Whereas before, because properties were scarce, they're like, I'll take it, man. Let's go right now. And so now that I'm starting to see that, my reactionary mode is starting to kick in, as far as like, crap, you know what? I need to start hustling more, not so much on the proactive side to get the deals done, but actually on the follow-up side, because that's where the money is made. And again, it's like the next 60 to 90 days are going to be determined upon what activities you're taking today. Yeah, driving for dollars. Yeah, chasing the lead to the probate courthouse. Yeah, chasing pre-foreclosures are all great activities that need to get done. But unfortunately, that kind of activity is only kicking the can out farther. Like, that 90 days is getting pushed out even farther, because you got to go skip trace these people. If you're following up with guys, you already got their relationship, man. You've already cut that time frame in half. And that's the biggest thing that I'm starting to see. So I actually started to follow up on a couple of my leads, and I got a hold of 2 people yesterday. Now, both of these people said, look, I'm not ready to sell. I'm not ready to do this. And I get it. I totally get it. But I'm now back in conversation. In fact, I got to actually call another guy this morning, because he has a property that the probate courts just approved for him to sell on yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But if I wasn't following up with this guy, I would probably miss the opportunity. And so that's what I wanted to share with you guys, is make sure that you're working both ends of the spectrum. You're going after future business, and you're also following up with past prospects that weren't quite ready. Because I can tell you, man, there's gold to be mined in your database. And the proof's in the pudding. Like I said, over a third of my properties this year have just been straight up follow-up from old past dead leads. Am I using a CRM? Yes and no. So let me pull down the street here. I've got a lady that has a house for sale. And so I've been just straight up using, I got an Excel spreadsheet, and then I got the postcards, and then I use, of course, Deal Machine is kind of a CRM, but I just invested in some money in a CRM called REI Soft. I'm not quite sure how to use it yet. It's kind of sucks. I think I've been paying with it for like 2 or 3 months, and it's just like, hey, I got this CRM that I haven't inputted. And again, this goes back to straight up like being honest with you guys. Like, look, I feel that I'm too busy out chasing new business to come back into my office and do what I need to do in my office to actually be better at following up with past leads, putting stuff in my thing. And so I have a VA that I can send this stuff to. I haven't done it because I'm scattered. I mean, honestly, like being disorganized is probably one of my my biggest weaknesses. But then also being disorganized, here's a lie that I tell myself. Being disorganized forces me to be more proactive because I'm disorganized, so I got to hustle harder to keep up with the disorganization. Yeah, we all tell ourselves lies. We all do, and that's just one that I have. Honestly, it's just me not being disciplined enough, sitting down in my office and saying, okay, you know what, I'm gonna take as long as it takes, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours to at least get to a point where I can go ahead and pass off it, get it structured and organized enough so I have a system so I can go, okay, to my VA, here's what I want you to do, you do the rest. Because she's been good. Because what I'll do with my probate leads is I'll go to the courthouse, I'll pull the probate leads, take a snapshot of it, she uploads it to our database, which is a Excel spreadsheet, and from there I'll do mail merges and print it all off, and it goes out. So yeah, we're very haphazard, disorganized when it comes to being efficient on the database side. So anyway, I need to drop off a present to this person who's moving here and find out what they're doing with their house. All right, see y'all later, guys. Just remember, you're just one deal away from changing your entire financial future. I want you to always keep that in mind. Yeah, it could be tough. Yeah, it could be difficult, but you know what? Keep pushing on, because honestly, it's all it takes is just one deal, and that deal could happen like that house that I got over on Morton Street, that condemned property. That was less than 30 days. Or it could be like this house that I just closed on just down the street that it was a rent to own. I've been chasing this guy for well over a year now, and we finally closed on it last Thursday. So just remember, one deal is all it takes, and your future can be changed forever. All right, guys, see you later.